witness the birth of a new story. The rise of heroes and the trials of darkness. The world lies upon the precipice of change. Will you stand or will you fall? Prepare yourself well, traveler, for fate is watching, and the stars are yours to claim.
What can be said about the mysterious elven ranger from the Feywild? Born in Aurora's Vale, the city of light, where magic defined the elven people, Altari Elunéth was born without it. Determined to prove her worth, she trained tirelessly with bow and blade, believing strength could be found beyond the arcane. But despite her efforts, she was only tolerated out of duty and never truly embraced by the Circle of Keepers, the powerful leaders of the Vale. In a defiant attempt to earn their respect, she faced the Keepers' trials, and though her death was assured, she survived against all odds. But Altari's victory was hollow in the death of the man who held her heart. Hardened by grief and forsaking the Keepers, Altari became a guardian, devoted to defending her people from the growing darkness beneath the earth. When the land was torn asunder by quakes and living shadows, she and her company sought the source in a long forgotten ruin. And it was here where Altari would be unmade. For within this ruin, they found an ancient artifact, brimming with dark, divine magic. As shadows overwhelmed them, Altari destroyed the orb, only to be struck by a vision of Aurora's Vale, consumed by darkness and ash. A deep, foreboding voice carved prophecy into her soul, and the magic of the orb marked her, changing her forever. The explosion of power tore the very fabric of reality, wrenching Altari from the Feywild and casting her through a rift into the material plane. Lost in this new world, Altari grew close to some unlikely companions. She was saved by Blaze, a steadfast paladin who had become her closest friend, and Visilva, the light in her life, cherished like a daughter. Yet, Altari remains haunted by the dark voice from her vision, and the fear that the light of her people will diminish into endless night. Altari now walks the line between light and shadow, uncertain of her future, but determined to carve her own path. With new magic pulsing beneath her skin, Altari only has more questions.
Have you heard of the son Thornhoof? No? Then you must listen well, for his is a story of courage, of battles fought beneath the open sky, and of a hunter who stood unshaken before the creatures of nightmare. Born in Serajani's pride, Dasan was different. While others played, he hunted. While others feared the shadows, he sought what lurked within. And so it was that before he had even seen his 15th year, he had already earned recognition from the Serajani elders. But the brighter the flame, the darker the shadow it casts, and none stood in that shadow more than his own brother. You see, on the night of Dasan's 16th ascension rite, Bradwarden, his brother, sought to end Dasan's life. The night should have been a time of celebration, but jealousy turned it into something else. A storm of anger rose from Bradwarden as he attacked Dasan, leading to a big fight. And when it passed, Dasan remained standing, his heart heavy with sorrow. For that same night, his brother was cast out, his voice carrying a promise of vengeance. But Dasan did not linger in the past. No, he set his sights on the world beyond, walking the path of the hunter, the slayer of beasts, wolves, bears, the restless dead, even the cyclops. No matter the foe, Dasan Thornhoof met them with steel in his grip and fire in his heart. They say the monsters feared him. They say his name travels faster than the wind. They say that when the land trembles, it is the hooves of Dasan leaving their mark on the beasts of Nocturne. But his story does not end there. Dasan is still out there hunting.
The name's Forlan Honeywittle, of the esteemed family of Honeywittles, and he needs no grand introduction, though he will gladly provide one. A halfling of unparalleled charm and wit, Forlan is a pirate of great renown, having once sailed beneath the banner of a legendary ship. However, such dark tales are best left in the past, for betrayal and mutiny have stained those memories. Yet Forlan has returned, wiser, bolder, and as dazzling as ever. The undisputed brains of an operation, the very essence of suave sophistication, a champion of drink, and a lion in heart and strength, and also in the sheets, if you know what I mean. Ladies adore him, men want to be him, so he claims. And who would dare to agree with this charismatic paladin? Now, he travels alongside trusted companions, Altari, Visilva, Blaze, and of course, the radiant love of his life, the beautiful Shadow. Together, they embark on a journey of peril and promise, seeking adventure, fortune, and most importantly, Shadow's lost ship, the Obsidian. Through danger and revelry alike, Forlan Honeywittle remains as ever unforgettable. Chaos follows wherever he treads, whether by wit, charm, or sheer audacity, who can really say? So remember the name, for it shall be forever lingering in your thoughts, whispered in admiration, long after the adventure ends.
Black sails fluttering in salty winds, and waves kissing the belly of her ship. Her true name known by most and feared by all who sail the seven seas. But alas, this bliss is but a distant memory for Shadow, as betrayal strikes her in the back by her former second-in-command. Exiled and stripped of her title, a flicker of light is shown from within the ocean. Astridon, the new goddess of the sea, gave Shadow a second chance. Sassy, foul-mouthed, reasonable, and yet dependable, she became a cleric of the Tempest. Just as the tides are ever-changing, Shadow ran into an old foe who became her new partner in crime, and maybe in life, known as Forlan Honeywittle. Goals aligning and dreams growing, they set off to regain Shadow's true name and her legendary ship.
Visilva's story begins in Kandura, a world where magic is feared and nearly non-existent, except near the borders, where it seeps in from other realms. She was never meant to be there, not truly. A changeling child left behind in place of a stolen human infant. But Visilva was not alone. She and the stolen child shared a bond deeper than blood, an unbreakable psychic connection. They were sisters, two halves of the same coin, separated by fate. For the first few years of Visilva's life, she lived as any child would, unaware of her true nature. That changed when at the age of 5, she shifted for the first and only time. In a moment of innocent play, her form changed before the eyes of her friends. Fear swept through the village. Her family, the people she had trusted most, turned against her. She was cast out, abandoned on the streets. She survived alone, stealing to keep herself alive, unseen and unwanted. Years passed in the shadows until a stranger arrived in town. He was the first person in years to show her kindness, and more than that, he carried magic with him. When he stepped through a portal into another world, a world where magic was not a curse, but a gift, Visilva followed. Now she walks a path between worlds, with 2 dreams guiding her steps: to be reunited with her sister and to find a family where she truly belongs.
For fuck's sakes. Oh, wait. My mic's picking up. Okay. Well, welcome to, as you can see, the absolute chaos that is tonight. You'll notice we're not live. well, you're watching this on YouTube, so obviously we're not live, but the point is there's no game on Twitch being live streamed. Whatever's going on with the weather around the area is screwing with the internet, and we are dropping more frames than we are producing. So in lieu of a live stream, I will be making tonight's game available as soon as possible after stream. I would like to say I'll make it available on the same night, but I don't know how long it'll take to upload with the fuckery that is the interwebs. So it'll be up hopefully tonight, otherwise as soon as I can get it up tomorrow. That being said, welcome to tonight. Tonight's going to feel a little bit weird because I'm not saying thank you for joining us live, but thank you for watching whenever you are watching. We still appreciate you taking time out of your busy night, day, afternoon, whatever it is, to come and watch a bunch of us weird people play Dungeons and Dragons. Before we get into the recap, as usual, our thanks that we do to all the amazing people that make this channel possible. First off, a very big thank you to our resident artist, Stash, for all the amazing art you see all over the screen, for the wonderful little character portraits that you had just seen for the character bios, which, spoiler alert, stay tuned for next week, something really cool is coming. And the little dice roll animation that you will see next is a very big thanks to her. A massive thanks to OSAV Media for the sounds over the character bios, as well as the sounds you will hear over the little dice roll intro. And a very big thank you to Travis Savoy for the beautiful music that you'll be hearing throughout the game in the background. RPG Music Maker on all platforms, and links to all the artists' things will be found down below in the doobly-doo. Go find them, go show them love. Let's show some artists some appreciation, because artists are amazing. And finally, one of the most important thank yous I have to make. Thank you to my players for being here. You guys are amazing, and welcome in to tonight.
Good to be here.
I would hope so. You've missed a session.
I know, it's so good to be back. I feel like I missed out. I feel like it's been so long.
Just a bit.
So how do we play this game again?
Dice and numbers.
Which one do I roll for what?
The biggest one.
The little pointy triangle, that's your dice that you roll for everything. So when you need to make a skill check, that's the one you use.
They're all pointy.
the pyramid shaped one. The one that looks like if you stood on it, it would stick out through the other side of your foot. But before we get into tonight's game, we talk about what happened last week, with the party finally having the airship docking in Elunéth. As they were gathering the last of their things, Visilva making sure to pack what she believes to be complimentary toiletries and towels into her bag, making sure
They just stole it from all the other passengers.
The party was called out by somebody in guard uniform to come and assist with trouble on the docks, as somebody, a powerful mage as he claimed, inside something had summoned a beast, a creature, an evil thing, and was wreaking havoc on the docks. The party, being the heroes that they are, rushed out to see how they could help the innocents, and arriving out onto the docks, they found themselves staring down a Yachlal. After taking the time to defeat it in quite a epic final maneuver with the party banding together to take it down, they turned their attention to the large black sphere, the large black void of magical darkness, to try and see who was causing this trouble. Visilva, with her robe of eyes managing to see into it, saw a drow, a youngish-looking female drow. Maybe, in human terms, late teens, early 20s, maybe mid-20s at a push, standing with torn and tattered white clothing that, despite its condition, was still pristinely cleaned. Standing with shackles on her wrists and very exaggerated makeup under her eyes that looks as if you had applied mascara and started crying, but it was done purposefully. It wasn't the chaotic mess that you'd expect of if it was from crying. After trying to figure out what was going on, the guards approached and had a little bit of a back and forth with Shadow, but turns out that this drow was not a prisoner, was not the one causing the chaos. Instead, the Seer of Magical Darkness was put up to keep her safe, as it was the princess who had recently been rescued, returning to Elunéth. The princess, being grateful, came and thanked Dasan, as he was the nearest to her, before being escorted away. Party gathered up again, decided to head off into Elunéth to find the bank so that they could deposit their platinum trade bars and any other monies they wish before heading out to their newly purchased plot of land, the ruins that they had purchased on the airship. Shadow thought it would be wise to stop and ask for directions, as they realize they don't actually know where they're going. Having then, not on camera, granted, but for the sake of brevity, having arrived at the bank and made their deposits, we start tonight's session with the party exiting the bank with directions to the ruins. So let's find out what happens on tonight's episode of Roll Without Trace. And we start the party standing on the doorstep, or on the final step, kind of just about to step back onto the pavement, the large Bank of Elunéth behind them. Directions in hand on how to find the ruins. What would you guys like to do?
Shadow will hand over the directions to Altari, since she's a little bit better with them, and Shadow is actually just being lazy. Shadow also wants to keep a lookout for any foxes that might be on buildings or signs or anything like that.
Sure. Give me a perception check that we'll use throughout your walk to the ruins.
Roll of the night. other dice today. Yay! That is an 18.
All right. That will be noted.
Altari's just kind of walking around looking up at the city and just marveling at how different it is from her city, and it's one of the biggest cities that she's been to since coming to this plane. And she's just sort of like being a tourist, almost like looking at the different buildings, marveling at like the foods, and not really paying attention to where she's going.
Okay.
So when Shadow gives her the map, she'll just like take it but keep looking everywhere but.
So you'll notice the style of building down here in Lower Edelhunt, where you currently are, is a very strange mixture of the white stone that you've already seen the upper tiers of the city being built from, but covered in soot. Yes, it is dirty, but not neglect. Almost as if it's not worth it to keeping it as clean as the upper cities. You can see there's no stains, there's no deterioration. The buildings are still all well looked after, but they're stained this dark gray, almost black. Some of the other buildings, which are closer to the canals that run through the city, built out of a darker wood. So it's this weird contrast of the elegance of this white stone versus the simplicity of the wood. And whilst the little wooden buildings are by no means shoddy, you can definitely see the level of craftsmanship that went into them is a far cry from that has gone into the white stone buildings. As you make your way through the crowds and the hustle and bustle, you approach, or making your way through the back streets, not quite the alleys, but you are avoiding the main streets. You hear footsteps approaching rather quickly from behind.
Oh, sorry, I was watching that crow just, sort of chase the seagull. I wasn't actually paying attention. We hearing footsteps? I mean, we're in a city.
No, yes, but no. You can hear it's that difference of how they're approaching. You can hear these are approaching with haste, and they sound.
They're approaching us.
Yes, they're approaching you from behind, but you can hear they're approaching quickly and with heavy footsteps. It's not just the footsteps of the city. It's the ones that stand out
with purpose.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna sort of like look around and see what's coming, and just try and get out of the way if people are hurrying past. Just kind of like make myself thin and pushed up against the wall, I guess.
Looking back, you'll see two guards clad in the emerald green with gold trimmed military uniforms approaching. One of them, a more burly guy, the younger chap, both humans. The younger chap carrying a polearm. The larger one doesn't appear to be armed. The larger one, though, stops maybe about 10-15 feet away from you. Oh, sorry. You can hear like he's a little out of breath, but still got this stern, authoritative tone in his voice. Listen, we're looking for Princess Shalrae. She's managed to escape her escort. You haven't seen her, have you?
Well, not since the docks.
All right. If you see her or have any information leading to us finding her, you can tell us or any other guards you see. Just if you have anything, please, any help in finding her will be rewarded. And he, like, slaps the smaller one behind the shoulders in that let's go kind of way, and the small one just quickly straightens up. Yes, sir. And they kind of just like continue walking past you. You can see they're very clearly paying attention to every alley they walk past, looking, trying to see if they can spot the princess.
I'm not gonna lie, if she was trying to hide from them, I doubt she'd be hiding in the most obvious places.
Ooh.
I mean, is it just me or are they very bad at their job?
I mean, how often have they lost her? Twice, and we've only been here not even an hour, have we? How long were we at the bank?
Well, it would have taken less than an hour. And they've technically only lost her once.
Well, I mean, if they've returned her, she was missing and they returned her and now she's missing again. They're not very good at what they do, are they? Ooh. Yeah, this would not happen in the Vale. Although, maybe our highly strong-spirited little princess just wants to explore the world a little bit more.
You had a little chat with her. Did you get any vibe off of her or something? Maybe a scent that you could track?
I mean, all she did was thank us really for stepping in. Can't really say that I got anything sketchy from her. Wait, just out of interest, I'm looking around to see if I spot anyone similar, familiar, kind of looking like her.
Give me a perception check.
17.
As you're kind of looking around, you look down from the way you came, and you see a hooded figure kind of peering out from the alleyway, and almost as you pass over and nothing, but then as you look back and kind of affix your gaze for just that moment longer than a passing glance, you see the head just disappear back behind the walls.
Stand corrected. Maybe the obvious places are the places they should be looking.
Yeah, something fishy over there. And I try to point without making it too obvious.
I mean, we are in the
Are
dark.
you pointing with an arm or with a hoof?
Like one of those pointer hounds.
More with more like, when you're in a shopping in a shop and you tell your mom, look at that pretty girl, but don't make it obvious, and then she's like looks like freaking 180 degrees. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to avoid here.
I mean, you're a big guy in... I don't really know how wide the streets are, I guess, but you're already pretty conspicuous. I'm pretty sure that whatever you do is going to be noticed.
I'll say I'm doing more like a head shrug in the direction and be like, we need to go investigate over there.
Do we need to go, though? Does this have to be our problem?
I mean,
last time
I agree with Visilva.
Well, there could be... Here's what I'm thinking. One of two things. Either one, she ran away on purpose, or two, she's following us. We did
if
just
she's
save her life.
following us, then she'll follow us. We don't have to intervene. Just say they weren't very friendly to us last time. I don't know if I want to get involved in their drama.
No, but I
We
would
literally
love
just
to
bought a house.
know.
Possibly, we don't want to get run out of town an hour and 20 minutes into being here.
Look, I would feel really bad just, at the very least, not hearing her out. She did get in trouble for even just speaking to me earlier. Maybe there is something she wanted to tell me, but couldn't because the guards were around.
I hear what you're saying, Dasan, and you're more than welcome to go speak to her, but the attitude of those guards, not something I really have patience to deal with today.
I have an excellent idea. How about, Dasan, you go talk to her, ask her if she wants to go on a walk with you, and then you merely take her along for the ride.
Yes, kidnapping.
Not if it's voluntarily.
Yeah, but will the guards believe that?
Well, I'm sure if it comes out of her mouth, yes.
Look, okay, I'll go have a look. I'm not even sure if it's her. I just found it a little suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be.
But it's okay. You guys can go ahead. I'll go have a look and I'll catch up with you later if needs be.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Will you be fine to find us again later?
Well, I mean, if I don't find you in town, I'm sure there's people I can ask around for directions to a dilapidated, farmy, ruiny thing outside of town.
I mean, I doubt there's many, and if it helps, it was northeastern side beyond the farms, so
Yeah, I have a direction. I know how to track that.
and plus you have your magical little map.
That too. But I like relying on my instincts, Got to keep them sharp. But in any case, I'll find you guys. I'm sure I will. I can't get too lost.
Well, we won't be too far away, so
Well, hang on. Before you go, Shadow will actually give Dasan the sending stone that she has. This is for in case.
We can have some fun with this. I'll take it. I put it in one of my little baggies on my saddlebags. If I do need help, I'll let you know.
And we'll think about coming.
That's that means a lot. And then I'll kind of make my way towards the alley and leave the girls to go do shopping.
Oh god. Okay,
So,
you're making your way
Look at
there.
Altari and Shadow and be like, I think there was some chemistry between him and the princess. So maybe that's why he's so eager to find her.
Oh, here we go.
it's very possible. I mean, she did seem to, make some eyes at him when she spoke with him.
I mean, she completely ignored the rest of us. She only spoke to him.
You got a point. Well, I'm sure he'll be fine on his own. I mean, how much trouble can you really get into in a place like this?
Don't.
I realize, as I said it, I probably shouldn't have, but, well...
He's a
why
big
there's so
guy.
There's
That
so many
you-
flies in this city. I would love to just keep going.
Okay, so the three of you are going to continue your walk.
Yes.
All right. As the three of you continue down your path, and we have the sun heading, you're going to have a look at what he saw. Dasan,
Gotta
you
meet cute with the princess.
get to the alleyway and you look down, and you don't see the hooded figure. You do though see two middle-age-ish drow, kind of just standing, leaning against the wall, just in their own conversation.
Sounds about to get mugged.
I want to eavesdrop, but not, too obvious. Like, I want to just pass them, see if I can hear what the conversation is about, but not just like stand there and look at them and be like, "Oh, what is saying?"
in just passing without really trying, kind of just passively listening out, you hear they're just, it seems they're talking about just their regular life, nothing overly exciting. It seems like the ones talking about an encounter or some scrap he got into at one of the taverns. Nothing juicy, if or nothing suspicious, I should say.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be.
Okay, looking at the alleyway, do I see any like side entrances or any
There's
place where
a lot. That's a relatively long alleyway with lots of little snaking alleyets off to behind other homes and buildings.
Fine then, I will turn to the two talking trowels and ask them politely, "Excuse me, did you two maybe notice a young woman pass by a few seconds ago?"
I kind of look you up and down, very clearly having never seen a creature like you before. Oh, what the fuck are you then? But no, didn't see no lady. Don't know what you saw, but saw somebody running down. Looked like they were on quite the mission.
Can you maybe point me in the direction they went?
He just like very slowly raises his arm, pointing down the alley. Somewhere down there, I guess. Wasn't paying much mind after they ran and nearly tripped over us.
Very well, thank you. Give him a gentle pat on the shoulder.
Yeah, your gentle pat. He like half buckles at the knee, not in pain or anything, just that obviously not expecting that heavy. Buckles down a bit.
And then I'm just gonna. I don't want to do it too slow. Like, I want to make my way through the alley, look left and right, and see if I can spot the figure.
Okay. Whilst, well, no, let's just. Let's say you'll take 10 minutes to just, briskly walk, looking down the little side alleys and so on. You will not see the figure. You'll see groups of people hanging out here or there, but all seeming to just be doing their own thing. Nothing that seems suspicious or attention grabbing.
Sneaky rogues in big cities. Then I'll make my way back out of the alley, I guess.
Just before you leave, kind of as you're about to round the corner and like rejoin the back road where you had come from, the drow. Oh, you're looking for them anyway.
Just looked like someone I recognized that I haven't seen in a while. But, don't know where they went.
So, friend.
Old friend, yeah.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, sure, let me do the talking. That's a 3.
He kind of regards you. Right. Of course, friend. Well, when you see your friend, send her here, yeah? She dropped something. And he kind of like just pulls a little brooch out from his pocket and like very quickly flashes it towards you before putting it back in his pocket.
Does it look royal?
No. It's very, from like the quick little flash he gave, it's very, how can I say it? Discommon.
Okay.
Did it have a fox on it? I'm not there.
So, it's not something I would associate with the princess.
No, definitely not.
Unless she's from Blackburn. Okay. Well, if I run into them, I will, but I mean, might not be for a few days, so
That's
how
fine.
would we get...
We're always in the alley. There's always somebody here watching.
Well, now you got me interested. What are you watching?
People, things.
People to do, things to see. You know.
We as people watch, you know. Like to see what people leave behind in these alleys. What people consider valuable and what they don't. You know the age-old saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
And if I may ask, who do all these things end up going to?
Yeah,
Do you
whoever
have
finds
like
them.
So not some big chief with a lost and found box?
No, this alley, everyone's out for themselves, but we got a code. Anyone ever comes describing what they've lost, we have it. We give it back to them. We only keep what doesn't get claimed.
Sounds mighty noble of you.
Noble, opportunistic.
Well, I'll keep that in mind. Say, you wouldn't have, let's say, a place where you maybe sell off all the unclaimed items?
Now who's doing shopping?
You see he kind of just he almost starts smirking before he just like regains his composure. Don't know if I can trust you.
Fair enough.
Maybe
Never
we
met
do.
before.
Maybe we don't. Guess you'll have to find that one out yourself, eh?
I guess we'll have to. In any case, I'm not going to take up any more of your time watching things and people. Don't know what you can lose. Time is money.
He just gives you a little nod before he just resumes his conversation with his companion.
That was super sketchy. I don't want to be here no more, please.
Whilst all of this has been happening, and the three ladies are making your way to the ruins. As you start approaching the eastern, not really border, but like the eastern outers of the city, just before you get to the river that runs technically through Edelhund, but it doesn't run through what would be considered Edelhund proper. So, as you're about to kind of leave Edelhund proper, you see as the fields or the buildings kind of start becoming a little bit more sparse. You can now see out. You see the river off in the distance. On the other side of the river is quite a large section of farmland. As you're approaching the bridge to cross the river, you see, several groups of people. Obviously, everyone just going about their business. No one really paying much mind to you. And I would please like you all to give me...
Roll initiative.
Oh, that would have been good. So give me a... give me a perception check from the lot of you, please.
Why can't I roll? What do you mean?
Have you made yourself
Okay,
a
I guess
ball?
I'm doing this manually then. No, I can't click on the thingy. Okay, hang on. I have to do this manually with real
15?
dice. What fuck? That just rolled. Sorry, that just. Okay, well. Math is hard. 25?
Science 25? Shut up.
28.
28, Jesus. Yeah, the two of you, Visilva, not so much, but the two of you definitely see in between some of the groups a figure just kind of very well granted, but very casually just drifting from group to group, heading a little bit closer towards you.
Ah, we're being stalked.
Do they
Not
look
that I
hostile
noticed,
at all?
No, not at all.
I'll point it out to her.
They're not. They appear to have like a what's the word I want to use? Like a cape / cloak thrown over their shoulders, so you can't really make out their clothing. But they're unhooded. You do see that they're walking with that thing like where they have their head down, so you struggle to see the face. But you do see a shock of white hair just hanging down.
Do you think that's the sun's new friend?
But why is she following us? Dasan broke off of the group.
Do you think that's her? Did we catch her name?
No. Well,
I don't think
the
so.
gods mentioned her name, but you didn't get it from her. In the alley was the first mention of her name.
Which I promptly forgot.
That is Princess Shalrae. Is Shalrae. Shalrae.
Are we the drama?
are we gonna keep going and then just wait until we're in a little bit more of a secluded area, then jump her or not?
Are we going to jump her?
Whilst you guys are talking, you're seeing as she's making her way closer now, maybe 2-3 little clusters of people away.
Well, I'm pretty sure she knows where we are, and I can't say for sure if she's coming towards us specifically or just happens to be going in the same direction, but I don't know what would be the best situation, the best way to deal with this. I don't know. I don't even know. All I want to do is just go see the ruin, and maybe we should just speak to her, see what she wants.
With saying wanting to go see the ruin, she is essentially within earshot. Well, I'd be happy to take you. Assuming we're talking about the same ruins. She steps close and looks up towards you. Her hair still hanging over her face, but she moves just enough out of her face, and you'll recognize her face as being Princess Shalrae.
How much trouble do I get in if I cast banishment to the castle?
Oh god.
I will contemplate it, but think better of it and not do it.
I just wanted to come and thank you once again for helping with the Yaknal. I greatly appreciate it.
It's no trouble helping out anyone in need, but you seem to be quite the trouble finder yourself.
You sound somewhat like my mother right now.
Or perhaps just take someone to no one.
I like that. She kind of flicks her hair out of her face a little bit more, still keeping it mostly covered, and she extends her hand. Suppose a formal introduction should be in order. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Funky girl, sorry. She does not randomly just nearly start dying. That's DM dying.
That would be real awkward if she comes to introduce herself, dies.
I swear we didn't touch her.
Okay, we try that again. She extends her hand. My name is Shalrae of House Zaureth.
I will reach my hand out to shake hers formally. It is a pleasure, my lady.
Oh, please, none of.
We are the Forged
None of that.
Seven. We may not be 7 at the moment, but semantics.
Were we ever 7?
We are with all your pets.
Yeah.
They count as part of the group.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Forge 7. Now, I have just one favor to ask, and that's that you please don't tell the guards that you have found me. You see,
We technically didn't find you.
she kind of as she says that, she kind of half turns her back, just hangs her head down, and you see a group of guards walking past, looking around.
You sure do stand out quite a bit, though. But I suppose it's just another thing we have in common. I'll just hold up my hair and point to Visilva's.
Oh, it certainly helps blend in.
May I inquire as to why you do not wish to be found?
I'm not.
And perhaps we should keep moving while we talk, so we don't become
Smart.
caught, as it were.
Clever. I'll take you the back way. It's a little longer, but It's not out through the open.
I'm being extra cautious around her. Like, I want to be like extra alert, not specifically because I'm looking for the guards and I want to be all protective, but I'm also kind of wary of her as well.
Yeah, sure.
So I'll follow along, but I'm also kind of like, what are you hiding?
No, of course.
Super wary of her because I've noticed that trouble follows us.
And she literally found us, and she's being pursued, so that could lead to a lot more trouble, which perhaps using the back way is not the worst idea.
Right, well, then I am assuming you will follow her.
Yes.
All right. You follow her, and then she will continue talking. I'm not quite ready to return home just yet. Nothing against the family. God knows I do love them. But I was not cut out for the royal life. It feels like prison. It's claustrophobic, if that makes any sense at all.
I can understand that more than you know.
Well,
tell me, Princess, the first time you went, and I'll hold my fingers up in like inverted commas, the first time you went missing, was that of your doing?
She kind of stops in her tracks a bit, looks back towards you, and like just scrunches her eyes, and I'm not sure I quite understand. You asking if the first time I went missing was myself deciding to run away?
That is exactly what I'm asking.
Yes. I had met a friend. The family was out with doing our civic duty, and I'd met a local child, and when we returned to the palace, I wanted to go play with him, and apparently we don't play with the commoners like that, despite the fact that my father is very much for the people. He's for the people, but not with the people. Not in any horrid way, he'll be with them when he needs to be. So
Sounds
I
lonely.
ran away to play with my friend. Little did I know the trouble that would cause. As sometime in the night, we had the entire city guard kicking down almost every door to try and find who had stolen me.
You don't think it's gonna cause trouble this time round?
Oh, no, not that much trouble. My parents know I do this now, they just don't like that I do it, but they know better than to kick people's doors in looking for me.
Good, because I don't think we have a door yet.
Or not, you'll be fine. I promise I will not get you into any trouble. Well, I'll do my best not to get you into any trouble, she says with a little chuckle.
Look of despair on my face.
So if I may ask, why Edelhunt? What are you here for? But I suppose the more interesting question I have is why Varanor Keep?
It was
Well,
cheap.
Well, I suppose that makes sense. It's been left to crumble. But it'll do. Need some love, but it'll do.
Mm.
So I'm guessing if you know where it is, are we expecting frequent visits from you then?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how we get along. Wouldn't want to impose on anyone.
I'm sure Dasan won't mind.
She stops again and looks like, actually, speaking of, where is the creature?
Looking for you?
Looking for me. Where would he be looking for me?
He thought he saw you earlier.
I'll have you know that is most insulting. He's a person. I thought royalty would know better.
You see like
He's a person.
a look of horror across her face. I do sincerely apologize. I meant nothing by it. Please do forgive me.
Oh, sorry, he's giving her a look. You need not worry about judgment from me, child, for what does it matter to your life, but be careful that your actions don't mirror that of your parents that you try so desperately to get away from.
I shall be more mindful of my mouth. I do apologize. You can see there's that very flustered look on her face right now.
Altari will just reach forward and just rub her thumb across her cheek and just say, "It's no stress."
Well, where is... what did you call him?
Friend.
Well, where's the other? The fourth member of the party, I'm assuming.
Our companion.
Yes.
He remained in the docks to investigate. Something caught his eye and he wanted to follow whatever trail it was. And he'll be along.
All right. As she turns and continues walking, and over her shoulder just calls out, "Another 10 or so minutes. We're nearly there."
I'm enjoying the walk. Beautiful out here. And the air's fresh.
Yes, it is quite lovely to be outside here, especially when you're used to being confined to the insides or that of the Underdark. Fresh air is always welcome.
I do wonder still. I understand that you say you want to get away from duty and such, and as wonderful as it sounds, why now? And what do you seek from us in particular in terms of your little endeavor? I don't mean to be forthright or anything like that. I'm just merely entertaining a curiosity.
No, I understand. I shall tell you what I feel comfortable telling you now, and then should we become more friendly, I'll be happy to tell you more. It's not
naturally
so much a now as if it's a new thing. I constantly leave and constantly get dragged back home. So this is just the latest of me being dragged home. And in terms of what it is I want from you in particular is, well, I suppose I just assumed since you came in swords swinging, arrows flying without asking any questions, well, at least I assume, taking down the Yachal, I just suppose I figured you would be the ones I kind of come to, and I can tell you're not around here. But to actually answer your question and not dodge it, what I'm wanting from you is, I guess, the hope that I can trust you to keep my location a secret. I want nothing from you. I have no work for you. I have nothing to give you. Well, I mean, I do, but I'm not trying to hire you to do anything. I've got no jobs for you to do. I'm not going to send you on some quest to find my long lost treasure. I guess you could say I'm looking for a companionship and someone I can trust not to rat me out to my parents every time I run away.
So you're looking for sanctuary?
That's a wonderful word to use, yes.
What makes you think we're trustworthy? Especially considering your status. I'm giving her like a... What are the chances of two murderers meeting up on the road look?
I suppose
Not
hope.
trying to intimidate or anything. I'm just like, I'm very skeptical. Like, why is she so trusting?
I suppose hope. When you live the life I do, you kind of have to put your faith in someone, and I guess you're the ones who I chose to put my faith in this time, and if that burns me, well, then I know not to trust you next time I see you. What's the worst that can happen? I get taken back to my parents. And I just have to leave
Dangerous
again.
game you're playing.
It's fine, I live for the danger. It's more exciting than a life trapped inside of the palace. Besides, this
That I can
is nothing compared
definitely
to
agree.
where I have been.
You mentioned the Underdark.
Well, yes, technically I was born in the Underdark. My entire house for generations have been born there. Under the city.
What brought your family to the city?
My father. He wanted to be a new kind of ruler. The family always used to rule from the Underdark, believing that the Drow shouldn't be surface dwellers. My father didn't accept that. He thought, how could a city be united? How could a city stand together if their rulers won't even stand with them? So he moved the family up to the palace, which used to be more of just a ceremonial type thing. Some lords would stay there, but he moved us up saying it would be better for our family, better for the image, and better for the city. That's why when I say he is for the people but not with the people, I genuinely mean he has their best interests at heart. He just doesn't want to be there in the city more than he has to. He would rather be in the palace and have the city come to him, which I guess is at least a step up from what the family used to be.
Sounds like quite the family politics.
I won't bore you with that today.
Another time then.
Another day.
Well, for the moment at least, I would like to say that your secret remains safe with us. But while we won't, well, I speak for myself really, go out of our way to return you to your former life, because your antics are really, and I mean this with no disrespect, Princess, but your antics are really not on our list of concerns at this moment. And I would very much like to help you, and I would very much like to build an alliance at some point, but trust is very difficult to come by, and I would very much like to take the time to build that.
Oh, of course. Don't think me a fool. I am not coming in here expecting you to be at my beck and call or go out of your way for me. Genuinely, the only thing I do ask is that you don't go finding the guards to tell them you found me, or if they question you again, just tell them you haven't seen me. That's genuinely all I ask right now. And maybe occasionally I'm going to stick around the keep. The guards don't tend to leave Edelhunt proper that much, so you may see me a bit, but further than that, for now, I'll keep to myself.
Well, the day is still young, and we still have, well, I guess a home, if we can call it that from all the things that we've heard. But it would be nice to have you join us and to show us around a little bit. Maybe give us a lay of the town, since it is your territory after all. It's nice to have an ally, so to speak, on the inside.
I will happily accompany you, but any tours of the city you wish will have to wait for tomorrow. I am a little bit, and she, like, almost instinctively, like unconsciously, just like reaches out and grabs her necklace, a little bit drained.
It is not tours I'm asking for, perhaps just merely direction. But all at your leisure. I would not want to do anything that compromises your safety or your secrecy in any way.
I appreciate that. And you eventually get to a point that you cross the river, and after a little bit of a hill, you come across, or she stops and just looks down into a little valley. It's not like a massive valley, but it's quite, it does sink enough that from just before the crest of the hill you don't see into it. Well, I guess I should say welcome home. Welcome to Vanaron. Now practice it. Welcome to Varanor Keep. Well, what remains of it, at least. And if you guys do want to open Tailspire, you can see what is here. This is, just keep in mind, a beta build. I will still finish it, but this is just so I can give you guys an idea of its size and what it looks like. I haven't put roofs on, but there are roofs in certain places, which I will explain when you are here.
I haven't used Tailspire in so long, it wants to update.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, Tailspire is also giving me difficulties.
I will keep trying.
Yeah, well, for now, I will just
Trying to navigate through a city.
I will just do this and put it here, and then I will try and get it onto recording too. Okay, I'm putting a picture in the Discord chat that you guys can see for now, and then I want to quickly do this and do this and that. And we want that. Okay, we want to bring this to there. And do that. Okay, it is on. It'll at least be on recording, and I will make it bigger in a moment for everyone who is watching. I'm just quickly changing the scene.
Does Tailspire work again?
Yeah. That, and we want to drop it down like
I just got dropped into a desert.
a desert.
Cloud.
Whoa! Oh, that's so cool!
I will walk you through it in a moment. Let me just quickly.
Why is the sun spinning around?
Doing the happy dance.
Altari's got stars in her eyes.
Huh.
Just like, oh, it's so beautiful.
Better than expecting.
This goes to there. And they've just got one more area to quickly neaten up, and then I can transition to the big screen for viewers. Okay, there you go. Okay, so you begin to approach the ruins, the collapsed keep. Quite, as you have all mentioned, quite a bit larger than you were expecting. The have I not got player permission set? No, I don't. So this is shadow. So this is geez, has it been so long that even Foundry's forgotten who Tailspy's forgotten who you guys are. This is for okay. The ruins clearly not what they used to be. A lot of it has fallen in on itself or collapsed down to the side, but you can see at least a second floor that seems like it might have a room or two that is still usable. And then just for the players to know, I'm going to just change the camera angle. So where I'm going to show my little markers. Actually, I can do this. This room here, which I don't know why it's so small, but anyway. Hold on. I've also forgotten how Tailspy works apparently. Okay, so these two rooms here at the back, they are roofed. The walls are falling apart, but they are roofed. And for this one, that section is somewhat roofed. Oh, there, I can do that. So that part is also roofed. The rest is either partially roofed with a lot of it having collapsed in, or completely open. I guess there would technically be a section here too that's part of the passage from upstairs. But yeah, this is going to be your home for the foreseeable future.
It's beautiful. There's
As
so
I
much
said,
space.
This is just for players before we go back. This is betaable. Things will change, not drastically. Like I'm not going to suddenly make it smaller or whatever, but you know, some things may change a little bit of the layout may change, but this is the general concept, and the details will still be added. I just, when trying to build this, had completely forgotten how to use Tailspy, so
Yeah.
yeah, it took me a bit longer. But anyway, back to the regularly scheduled programming.
I'm sorry, it's just gonna sort of like walk around, look at the stone, envision home, how she remembers it, but also like her eyes are marveling at this new adventure before her, basically, and just sort of like subconsciously just smiling as she's looking at the ruin, basically. And yeah, it's a bit of a fixer-upper, but it's exciting.
This is where...
Visilva's just going to run off and explore.
Alright, I will tell you what you see whilst you're exploring now. This is where, around this time, where Dasan has made his way to you to join you. And also, I would just like to point out, have you guys noticed just how big Dasan Mini is?
I'm not gonna lie, he's about as big as I expected him to be.
But I mean, that is.
Pretty big.
I will do this for Visilva, who is not in Tailspire just yet. I'll send a little
When Sun
reference.
shows up, Visilva's just gonna be like, "Hey, look who we found!" and point at the princess. Did a better job than you.
Alright, that is for you for reference. Dasan, as you're joining, you watch Visilva run into. Go and start exploring.
Eat?
From a quick look, Visilva, inside you see what looks to be some form of storage. There's a large stone, like what looks to be something that's been pulled out of a wall, like a section of a wall, but not loose stone, carved stone, standing there, quite dust covered, a lot of strange ruins and markings on it. A little higher is, you can see what used to be a dining room of sorts, a lot of overturned tables, chairs, just stuff strewn all over. And down the passage, you'll see under the roof are two rooms that seem to be sealed off with cloth hanging down, acting kind of as temporary doors or wardening off. Not sure what their intended purposes were, but they kind of block the rooms to, from what it would look like, act as privacy shields. And that's just a super rough thing. I'll give you a better explanation once I've finished building it and I can give you the proper, exactly what it is.
Does it look like anyone's been living here?
Don't you prep for games?
I do prep for games, but do you know how difficult it is to build a ruin in Tailspire when you haven't used Tailspire in months?
Just hearing excuses.
Don't you prep for games and get ready to be in Tailspire?
I don't prep shit.
I guess at least you're honest. Okay, to answer your question, and then I will jump to Farmy / the Sun's arrival. It looks like maybe there's been some squatters in and out over the years. There's definitely been life here, but not somebody's been living here permanently.
Oh, okay, so just kind of like passing through, using it for a couple of nights or whatever, and then moving on.
Like even the stuff you do see here that looks new, like that somebody's left it there recently, would look at least a couple of weeks old. There's nothing here that's, somebody's just been here. It may be a month, 2 months at minimum, that was the last that somebody's been through here.
I'm just exploring at this point.
All right.
I'm like Visilva, I'm exploring.
Dasan, you have arrived. What would you like to do?
One, where's the princess? Is she exploring with Visilva or Altari?
She would be inside with one of the two, yeah.
So is Shadow outside?
Unless she's gone inside.
Shadow, where are you?
Shadow is standing outside and just like taking in the whole thing, thinking about this will be her first ever home that doesn't move with her.
So, guessing I see Shadow. I'll walk up to you and be like, not at all what I imagined when he said dilapidated ruin.
Well, I mean, what did you expect?
I didn't expect it to be so big.
Well, it is a keep, so
I don't recall him ever saying that.
yeah. Well, now we figured it out, and actually, we weren't hustled that bad.
That bad.
Well, look, I do see a lot of potential. I also see a lot of hard work ahead. But I must say, if settling down becomes an option in life, this isn't a bad choice.
Someone say something about settling down. That was quick. Sure, Dasan. You've only just met.
Well,
That's not what I meant.
I'm just teasing you. Look at this place, you guys. It's incredible.
Yeah. Mind if I have a little look around?
I mean, the place is yours as much as it is ours, to your heart's content.
They all ran inside. I don't care about inside. I want to see outside. So yeah, I'm just gonna make my way around the building, around the back, and be very intrigued by this. I like this. Doors.
Around the outside is mostly a bunch of rubble. On the what's not actually the western side, but hold on, what does this map's compass say? On the south side, if you're looking at Tailspire's compass, there seems to be more the outer areas where there's still a little bit of loose hay. You see some carts there. That's more where the outdoor activities would have happened.
Is that the hay we requested?
No, not all of the hay you requested. That's just some hay that has been left behind. Your hay is still coming.
Hey, Princess, do you know anything of the history of this place?
She kind of like looks at you. I do, and I have one more request. Please, could you just drop the princess thing? Shalrae works perfectly fine. It's the name I was given.
Honestly, I'm probably going to forget that.
Well, then I suppose
really
Princess
bad with
works. Yes, I do know the history of this. Used to be the bastion of the Moon Marked. It was a sanctuary and observatory operated by what many have forgotten or consider a forgotten order known as the Moon Marked. A bunch of scholars and guardians loyal to my family back in the day. This was when the family was still very obsessed with living in the Underdark. This was the one place where, as I said, the scholars and guardians would stay. They weren't nobles by any means, more just devout occulusts, arcanists, loyalists, those kinds of people.
Any curses we need to worry about?
Not that I know of, no. I do know that there's those things that big tablet-looking thing that you found, the very dusty one with the sigils on. I don't know how true it is.
We found a tablet?
Yes, it's the thing I told you, that big rock that looks like it's been pulled out of a wall.
because I was paying attention.
Player, don't you pay attention during the game?
Not when I'm trying to get Telspy working.
But anyway, I don't know how true it is, but from what I believe and have been told, those markings, that whole thing isn't just some decoration. Apparently, there's something locked behind it. Whatever it was wasn't meant for our eyes, and I don't even know if that's true. Other than that, there's a few glyphs stuck around this place in different corners. All of them are simple warding spells. So no curses that you need to worry about.
Good to know.
What happened to this place that it ended up falling into the state?
The short answer is it got abandoned. The
I see.
slightly less short answer, without going into a long history lesson, is whatever it was that they were studying consumed them. I know it had ties to something in the Feywild, and further than that, people won't answer my questions, and as good as I am at escaping, the one place I cannot seem to get into is the archives where they keep the history of this place. So whatever it is,
And
sounds interesting.
it does sound interesting indeed, and I find it very intriguing that a place that has this much honor was just abandoned and redacted from history or hidden from history. And it's probably a dangerous thing that I know it exists now, because now I want to know.
Well, we share that bond. Should I
It's
find
the white
out?
hair, I'm telling you.
Ah.
Or it might be the pointy ears, whichever you want to go with.
Can't be the white hair. You didn't always have white hair, and you've
You
always
make a very
been
good point.
curious.
You do make a very good point. Curiosity was always my prime personality, though.
Are you sure you're not part tabaxi?
That's Blue's influence.
So, I don't know. I get the feeling you were like this before you met Blue.
Bleh.
Blue.
Oh, you would love him. He's my oldest friend, and he studies in the Vale, back in the Feywild. He's a blue tabaxi. He's like a dark blue shade, and he likes books, and he likes knocking things off tables. He's a typical cat. He's a typical cat in every way, even though he hates being referred to as a cat. But that is what he is, and he's an absolute sweetheart. I hope you get to meet him one day.
I hope so too.
Well, you guys, what do you think? I mean, it's not really much at the moment, but it's got a lot of history. It's got a lot of potential. Do you think we could call this place home one day?
One day? I mean, this is an upgrade to what I've been doing for a couple of months.
There's nothing wrong with sleeping under the stars.
Oh, definitely not. Look, I wouldn't mind making a few changes to make it feel more at home, but yeah, I
Absolutely.
like it.
Removing the windows?
Who's removing the
I'm
windows?
saying if you...
You cut out
Wait,
a bit.
what?
You were saying what?
Me?
Yeah, you said something and then you cut out.
Oh, I said when the sun was like a few modifications, I was going to be like, what, removing the roof?
Oh, the roof.
No, Visilva. I'm not planning on staying inside. I'm not much of an indoors person. But, there's a lot of space. I was thinking maybe a little bit of a herb garden.
Oh, yes.
Space for some other activities.
You
Yeah,
see
but
the
I'll
princess
mostly
give you a
be
very dirty
outside.
look at other activities.
But yeah, I think you
The,
guys will have the inside mostly to yourselves.
I think we can make this place really nice for all of us. I mean, it'll take some time and it'll take a lot of work. But, I mean, let's be honest, how often are we really going to be here? It'll be nice to have a home base and a safe place that we can call ours to come back to and not have to worry about once we get it all fixed up, of course.
Well, on that note, I was thinking, I'm not sure if you guys would probably stay here right now in the state that it's in, seeing that, we have the offer to go to any of those fancy inns on the list that the sales rep gave us. But look, I don't mind it. So if you guys are fine with it, I can kind of settle in a little bit and start fixing a few of the things up, get it a little bit more livable.
I mean, I won't stop you, but we still have a lot of time. I mean, maybe we check out the inns, see what they've got on offer as well. We've seen the rune. Well, we've seen our place now. There's still a lot more we can see and learn about this place. And yeah, I'm quite looking forward to a new adventure.
Can Shadow go in and study the slab with the ruins on them? Does she recognize anything at all on it?
Sorry. Something here is just being very stupid. Give me an Arcana check. You don't recognize it, but you do recognize that this is nothing that you've seen before. This, even though, like, you might not understand everything you've seen, you kind of can tell. If you look at something like, oh, I've seen this kind of writing before. Well, I've seen these sigils before. Don't know what the hell they mean, but yeah, I recognize in this you've never seen. You know whatever this is either ancient or not of this world / plane.
I remember the princess mentioned something about the Feywild, and it's probably completely unrelated, but I'm gonna go have a look anyway, just to satiate my curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
I want to follow Shadow, mostly because I want to talk to her, but also because, I mean, everything here is just so interesting, and there's just so much cool shit to look at. So, do the ruins look... Same question, do they look Feywild-esque at all? Would it have possibly got anything that I may have encountered in my own studies? And the more pressing question and a more personal one, does it have anything in relation to what I have on my arm?
Give me a history check.
Yes, sir, I shall. 13.
You remember seeing sigils very similar to this. Maybe these ones, maybe different ones. You don't know, but you know you've seen this. It's kind of like if you look at a non-Roman alphabet. You know you've seen it, but you don't know if it was these ones. But you know you've seen this script, these glyphs, these sigils, whatever you want to call them. You know you've seen them before. And while it's a very hazy memory, it's very blurred, it's kind of just swimming out of your reach that you can't grab onto it. You are not unconvinced there. There's a little bit of maybe it is that these were seen inside of the tomb.
Can I take out a piece of paper from my journal and do like a charcoal rubbing over the glyphs, or are they like shiny? Are they like etched into the stone, or are they shiny?
They are etched in, but it's this tab. This thing is pretty big. You won't get it on a page.
Okay, then I want to sort of try and mimic some of them. The ones that seem most familiar, that I'm more drawn to.
Sure.
Just so that I can sit and ponder them at a later point.
Yeah, sure. That you'll be able to do.
Yeah.
You'll spend some time sitting there, copying their likeness across. That you can do with absolute pleasure. It's just when I say this thing's big, I mean picture it like it's about maybe 7 feet tall and wider across. This is a massive chunk of stone.
So kind of like it is in terms of the scale in relation to our minis currently.
It is pretty much that exact scale, yes. I mean,
Okay.
obviously maybe off by a tiny bit, but yes, that's
Yeah.
that's the
Significant.
concept of how big it is.
I'll just say to Shadow, I noticed that you're drawn to a lot of magical artifacts. Is there anything about these that ring any sort of bells in your head while I'm just like sketching?
No, not at all. This is nothing I've seen.
Don't know if it would work, but I could try like identify or something.
Hang on. Doesn't your son understand languages, or is it just if spoken he understands them? He can't read them.
Oh, that's a good point. Dasan,
I also have a spell for comprehend languages.
I do as well, but I mean, if Dasan can just understand or read all of them, you might as well just conserve your energy.
I mean, it's a ritual, so it doesn't take that much.
Fair enough. Hi, Moon Moon. Who's a cute baby? I'm not at all distracted by the dog.
Look dirty.
I know it's not a llama, but I
These
can't
are
find a llama
precious.
right now, and it's the fluffiest thing I can think of.
Oh, the timing of that was great. And
yeah.
Lady Marshmallow, obviously you get some love too. Goodies.
And I still can't get into Tails Fire.
Okay, so you have
Just
called
listening.
Dasan over.
I sent
Has
you a
the sun
message.
come over?
I'm coming very slowly until I get feedback from Tiaan. Because something was mentioned that I'm not sure about. Tippy-toe, tippy-toe, tippy-hoof, tippy-hoof, tippy-hoof. I think this will be the first time I noticed the princess.
We pointed her out to you.
When? You guys weren't around. It was just shadow.
Well, Visilva said we found her before you did.
This is awkward. Like,
Wait, what do you mean it's the first time you noticed the princess?
Not the first time she's noticed you.
No, because if he's talking about the physical mini that he's looking at, that's Visilva.
No, like I was under the impression the princess has been inside all along, and I've only been outside all along.
Okay, I get you. Sorry. Oh, come on.
And I think they went in before I arrived.
Sorry for everyone. This is just some backstage dealings.
Princess? How? Why? How? I look at that torrent. Am I supposed to kneel?
I'll just shake my head no.
Well, that's interesting seeing you here.
Come here often?
Well, I had to just see you again. You were my hero after all. You saved me.
Well, I think it's more just we were at the right place, right time kind of thing.
You see, she kind of just like chuckles a little to herself.
Oh, that's. Oh, jeez, Frank. Oh, that does not look like a princess, but. Oh.
Don't flatter yourself. You don't need to stumble over your words.
No, I'm more like. I get the feeling you being here has already been explained to them, and I don't want to put you through the effort of explaining it again. So I'm sure they'll just fill me in later. I'm glad to see you are okay, though. Because the guards were looking for you, and they did sound a little bit
continue to
worried.
look for me.
That's just
You
so
ran
the
away?
princess does not wish to be found.
Oh, okay then. Not a million questions there, but we can definitely leave them for later. You guys called me?
Oh, I'm in the fire. Now I can wander off. I see two ghosts. Where are the ghosts? Oh, they're there.
It's probably still ringing.
My babies.
Okay, so the sun has been summoned.
Woo.
Sun has been summoned.
And he inquired as to be called over.
Found a chase. Loaded.
I was wondering if you might know what these things say, or perhaps if you've seen anything like this before.
Ooh,
Hmm.
what's in here?
Do I recognize any of it?
Give me a Arcana check.
Okay. Nat 20, 21.
Jesus.
Wow.
Very nice. You recognize the sigils / glyphs to be from texts that you've seen in the Feywild whilst spending some time there with your monster / beast hunting. But there's never, at least in the books you've studied, been obviously aimed at beasts and hunting the beasts. It's never really been explained, or the sigils or glyphs themselves have never been analyzed or whatever. But almost as if somebody who had the book previously had annotated in them using these glyphs. So they look familiar in the sense that you've seen them used before in your beast hunting books, whatever those books might be.
In the Feywild specifically.
Only ever you have words. You will have only ever seen them in the Feywild, unless you have one of those books that you took out of the Feywild. But yes, specifically in the Feywild.
I only have one book in my inventory, Paul.
Yeah.
I don't have any other books. I read, but I'm not a collector.
Well then, no. Then
Pretty sure
only in the Feywild.
you've read books, though.
Yeah, I do read. Well, I'll point that out. Well, I recognize the glyphs. I can't tell you what they mean. I have seen a few of them during my travels in the Feywild.
You could understand every language.
Yeah, but there's a difference between words and pictures. These are more pictures than words.
So you're saying comprehend languages wouldn't work?
I mean, you can still give it a shot.
I'll give it a shot just because it's a ritual.
Fair enough.
Do you need knuckles and bones for that?
It's okay, I've got some. And I'll just pat my pocket.
I'm giving Visilva a very intriguing eye. There might be something there that's useful.
So can I do comprehend languages? Yeah, just tell me anything.
Sure, you'll take your time ritually casting it. And no, as Dasan says, you look at the glyphs and sigils, and it looks exactly the same to you.
Ancient emojis.
Yeah.
That one does look like a poop emoji.
What about identify? Does that tell me anything? I can also do it as a ritual.
Does identify tell you anything?
I don't know. You're the DM. You tell me.
It's a stone tablet.
Okay, it won't reveal the glyphs or sigils or their meanings, but you will
Just
see
give me a
that.
gist of what this thing is.
Yes, so it's definitely got magic imbued into it. It's a magic that you don't recognize, though. Even with identify that would normally help you to figure that out. It's almost like it's an ancient magic, a lost magic, something that isn't known. So you sense this wave of magic, but you can't place what it is. But something that the princess mentioned, something that Shalrae did say was about the fact that it's rumored and she's heard stories that it kind of acts as a seal. And with that knowledge that she's mentioned this, there are those kinds of vibes to it. You're not sure whether it actually is or you're just now, projecting it on, but you are getting that this is acting as some form of a seal.
I get the feeling this is going to cause us issues in the long run.
If
Otherwise, the DM would have never brought it into the play.
no, it's well, okay. You're saying that as a player, so I will be quiet. I will not say anything on that. If that was Visilva saying that, I would have told Visilva what she's feeling. But no,
Visilva's just being a bit pessimistic at the moment. She thinks everything's out to get them. Things went too well. No one's died.
Well, I guess this is something we should definitely look into at some point. I don't think now is really the time, though. I think the more we fix, the more we learn. We'll probably find other secrets in this place as we go.
I will just add one more thing with everyone saying, or like as Altari saying that with all of you don't trust this thing by any means. That's not what I'm trying to say, but you do get that sense from it that it's very much it's a passive thing in the sense that if you leave it alone, it's going to leave you alone, most likely.
Yeah. I say we don't touch it. Because I feel like our problems with it will arise if we poke at it too much. Like you said, it's like a seal or something.
It's giving those kinds of vibes, yes.
It's giving seal vibes, and not the fluffy kind. And I don't think we want to accidentally break whatever it seals.
But that raises an important question. Is it a seal to keep us out? Or is it a seal to keep whatever is inside in?
I don't think we want to find out.
And why would someone just leave something so powerful here? If it is that powerful.
I don't think that was the intention. I mean, if this place was abandoned and once a bastion of like safety and knowledge, it would have been safe in its time. I don't think its intended purpose was to be lost to time. And I think that Visilva is right, that we should leave it alone as much as we can. But always be cautious of it.
But what I don't get is, if it is such a powerful thing, and there's rumors about it, surely somewhere along the line, some school of wizards would have wanted it, came looking for it, I just find it very strange that it's still standing here.
Well, magic is unpredictable.
Just saying, let's
I mean,
not
it
poke
could-
and prod at it too much.
I mean, worst case outcome, it makes a very good ornamental decoration. Be a very nice wall setting if this were some sort of a living room. Imagine that, having some friends and companions over for a dinner party and someone accidentally opens a portal to wherever.
That's 100% gonna happen to us one day.
Could very well be one of us, you know, accidentally leans on it.
At this
Oh,
rate, it's gonna be Dasan.
can you imagine if Forlan or Blaze were here? They would be poking at it.
Oh, we'd already have unleashed whatever it was.
Yeah.
At the mention of those two, Altari's just gonna sort of like, her face drops for like a minute. Or not a minute, that's long, for like a second. And then she'll just like look up again as if nothing happened, and then just look at the group.
Do any of
It's
us notice
Visilva.
this?
Give me a
Yeah, I
perception.
did not clock that.
You guys can all give me a perception check.
I'm not hiding it.
Well, if it's not being
That
hidden,
helps.
then yes.
It's
Yeah,
really
Was that my side that cut out, or was that Visilva that cut out?
Probably me.
What's that one?
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Altari, you okay?
sweet child, you are kind. I'm alright. It's just, I suppose there's a lot on my mind, and just looking at this place and seeing the potential, the stories lost and the stories yet to be told. It's an interesting sense of hope that I thought that I'd lost a while ago, and I would very much like to start again with everyone here. All our friends. Shadow, Dasan, you, even the pets. Much like this place has a history, was broken down and destroyed, and somehow bits of it are still standing, enough for us to come in and build something new. I feel like, and this is going to sound absolutely terrible because it's so cliche and almost sickening to say this, but it's a reflection of us as well. We've been through so much. We've been so troubled and difficult with each other, and yet something has still held us together and made us stick by each other's sides. And I would very much like to nurture that and get to a point where we are all tight-knit friends. I mean, more so than we are already, but I would like to look at the past fondly, but be able to look away again and not keep looking over my shoulder. And if you guys are open to it, I would very much like to start again. Obviously, not everything can be forgotten, but new things can definitely be rewritten. So, hi, I'm Altari. I come from the Feywild. I'm new around here, and I like weapons. I'm just being awkward now, but yeah.
I'm looking at Shadow and trying to look at Visilva, who's somewhere halfway up the stairway. I think she's tired. She's acting weird.
Who, me or Visilva?
To agree.
Altari.
Gonna give Altari a hug and say, we can have a new start, but there's also stuff we need to finish. There's people we need to find.
It was never my intention to leave them
And
behind.
ships.
We have a lot to do still, but I think that we can maybe look at our bonds, rekindle that friendship and, the friendship between all of us and companionship, and I can introduce you to Dasan properly. And I'll look to Dasan and just... I'm so sorry that I wasn't the friend that you remembered years ago, because I didn't introduce you to my companions. I wasn't around. I was always off doing my own thing, and honestly, that wasn't very friendly of me, and I will try and do better, because I care about all of you, and I don't want anything to happen to you guys. But I also don't want us to all split up. I don't want to lose anyone else. And I think this could be a good new beginning for all of us. Maybe even get a new name, new adventure. Never forget, as Visilva says, but just look to brighter things. Maybe with a bit of a smile rather than a frown.
I think Visilva will like this place.
I look
Yeah.
forward to meeting her.
Altari, you never have to apologize. I mean, when we met again, we met under some very strange circumstances, so don't even sweat it. I mean, we all kind of have a part to play in this place. So we are going to spend a lot of time together, I can imagine. There's plenty of time to get to know each other. I mean, just you and I catching up to do. There's a lot of catching up to do.
You've always been so kind and genuine, and you're right, we do have a lot to catch up on, but I would also like to be more open with everybody, and it's gonna be hard, and there's gonna be times where we have short tempers, or we don't want to speak, or anything, and that's okay. But we're here for each other, and I like that. I like having you guys around. And I look forward to catching up and whatever comes next, and finding your sister and finding your ship and figuring out whatever the hell this means, and I'll hold up my arm. And whatever the horizon brings for us, we'll
Does
just
this
be ready
place
for it.
have like a dam or a lake or anything?
There's a river literally a couple hundred. I'm going to use meters now because my brain can't think in feet at the moment. The river's a couple hundred meters away from the keep. You can hear it when it's quiet.
It's always just gonna look towards the river and be like, Shadow, you think your ship's gonna fit there?
No, it's not.
Speaking of ships, look, I've pretty much gathered you are a bound to the ocean kind of woman, Shadow. Are you comfortable settling down roots in a place like this?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have an answer for it.
Okay. First thoughts.
First thoughts? Fuck, I just want my ship back. And I am willing to experience new things.
Okay, we'll make the river bigger.
Or we might be able to make the ship smaller, and I pull out the little thingy from the airship that makes me bigger or smaller, and I go, shrink, grow. Like, maybe this works on a ship.
Shadow sailing around on the river in her mini ship.
Oh no, make it bigger, dear! No, dear, no! I'm scary.
How do we turn this thing around? Go back, go back.
Oh, whoops.
Gosh,
Oh, I
No,
like
that's
that.
still not right. No, fucking it. He's large, so he's 2x2, of course. Sorry. There you go. Return to normal.
Oh, I'm myself again. Oh, this cursed thing. I like it and hate it at the same time.
How do you feel?
I'm myself again. But yeah, Shadow. It looks like, you know, I might be sticking with you guys a lot longer than I had imagined when I first ran into you guys. And it's not a bad thing. I've learned not to plan my life very far ahead because life happens.
Happens.
And seeing that I don't have any plans, I'm easy to slot in wherever you guys feel like going, whether it's finding a ship, finding family, or just finding answers. I'll be with you guys along the way.
well, who knows? Maybe we'll start a different story.
I think that's the beauty of stories. The fact that the page is blank means that we can do absolutely anything. And while that's both a daunting and terrifying prospect, it's also thrilling. And we have a lot ahead of us. But what else are we going to do? I mean, we're adventurers, right?
And on that note, we are going to do something very spontaneous and something out of my fucking comfort zone. Let's spend the night here together. This is our first night in our own keep. Under the stars like Dasan wants to.
I like that. First night.
As,
Chaotic bunch in a chaotic house.
Like, there's no delay. As soon as Shadow utters those words, I'm already, like, unpacking the wolf pelts and deer skins and stuff I've rolled up on my, on my saddlebags to hand out for them if they wanted to get a little comfier spot. Anybody wants to grab a fur? It's better than sleeping on hard rock.
Absolutely. Very much
And,
like to explore this place some more and see what else we can even find here. What other treasures lie beneath the dust?
There's some hay outside as well to make proper, like, beds.
Make some nice soft bedding. We can get a fire going. What are the chances we burn this place down on our first night?
Oh, please don't do that.
I don't think there's enough wood to burn it down.
Or whatever's left is not really gonna burn much. And hey, it's got a solid foundation. That's all we need, really. I don't think fire can produce this place.
It was all just a challenge accepted.
Yes.
I'm just imagining her making a fire with like little twigs and leaves, and it's like this tiny little bonfire thing, and it just makes like a little plume of smoke, but doesn't do much. And she's like, "Oh, nearly."
She's just there next to.
And like everyone
I'll do that, and then I'll get annoyed and just hit it with like, what was the fireball?
Fireball.
Yeah, I'll just hit it with a fireball to try and make it spark better.
No, I mean, it definitely woofs a bit. But I mean, nothing massive from a fireball.
No, but I mean, I'm just
Leaves
trying to
and
use it
spray.
to start the campfire.
Oh yeah, I get you. Oh, that'll definitely start the campfire.
Not actually trying to burn the place down. Yeah.
With you, I do have to ask.
Is the princess still around?
She's there. She's kind of like what drifted off and is, sitting in one of the corners. Not like in the corner, but like sitting off to one side, very much just minding her own business.
I don't know, emotional time.
So she's not snooping.
No, by no means.
I mean, she probably knows this place better than we do. So I mean, what would she be snooping for?
I don't know. I picked up different vibes there.
Of course she did.
Not those kind of vibes. It just seemed a little like she's more interested in spending time here than spending time with us. With the whole looking for companionship. Nah, you're looking for a way into this place. And I'm watching you around this tablet thing.
Are you okay? I'm sorry, you did ask us not to call you that. Shalrae?
She looks up from kind of just deep thoughts. Yes, I'm perfectly fine, thanks. I just didn't want to intrude in what was very clearly a private moment between you lot. It was made quite clear that we are earning trust, and I am quite content with that. I wouldn't want
There's a
you
difference.
thinking I'm trying to impose on your private matters or trying to gather any information or anything of the sort, so...
I do respect the courtesy. And you are welcome to join us if you wish. Well, you have my welcome. I do not speak for the others, but what would be your plans for the rest of the day, the rest of the afternoon? How do you plan to continue evading the guards?
I will hang out here for a bit, and then we see where the night takes us. If anything of interest happens around here, I'll stick around. Otherwise, I'll skulk away and return on the morrow to point you in the direction of things to do, places to see, anything you need to know. I'll happily point you in that direction.
Well, how about we start with the first step of trust? Share a meal with us. I mean, fair, it's not going to be lavish and luxurious like you might be used to in the palace, but it'll be quaint and warm, and the company's pretty good, and we can share stories. I'd love to hear more of your people.
Beats a
your
meal
history.
cooked by the palace cooks any day. Don't get me wrong, they're perfectly capable. The food itself is delicious, but there's no love in it. There's no heart. It's just servants. Well, not servants, that's a horrible word to use. It's just workers doing their job for the royal family. It's not somebody putting love and effort into the cooking. It's not visiting your grandmother and having your meal cooked by her.
Just gonna look at
I
her.
never knew my grandmother.
I don't want to be mean, but have you ever had that? Because I feel like your grandma's probably pretty royal too.
Not with my own grandmother, no. But with grandmothers of friends. that I've made along the way.
I admire your outlook on people of a lower status than yours.
What is
seem
status
to have-
but the size of your bank account or the size of your influence?
The size of your accomplishments as other people perceive them.
I'm so glad Forlan's not here right now. I can already hear him.
Well,
Size doesn't matter.
just because my family did something that some perceive as noble doesn't detract from the fact that every day that there's people out living their day-to-day lives, doing extraordinary things, working multiple jobs, working themselves to the bone to give their children a better life. If you ask me, I think that is significantly more impressive than anything that the royals have done.
Very interesting outlook.
And again, there's no hate or shade towards my family. I love them.
Hmm.
Just making a point.
It's just different lives. Everyone has their own path and they don't always align. It's interesting to see what happens in the lives of others.
That it is.
I mean, that's pretty much... That's been my life for the past couple of months. Just exploring a new world completely different to my own and just experiencing others for the first time in pretty much a century.
Well, I think it would be wonderful to have that meal and trade stories. Some, at least. Can't
Naturally.
go spilling all our secrets on the first night now, can we?
I don't think one night is enough to share all the stories, but a tale or two in exchange for another tale or two. Just broaden our horizons a little more. And I'd love to hear more on the city, and hopefully when we embark into the city tomorrow or whenever we do go, it will seem less daunting. Exciting and thrilling nonetheless. But it's very different from where I come from.
Elunéth is a wonderful place. There's a lot to tell. But you'll leave that for later.
I'm gonna go sit next to Moon and just wrap my arm around him and give him scritches, like with my arm resting on his neck and my hand like plopped on his head and just like fondling his ears.
He'll do that creepy little leg shake.
Oh, cute.
That's adorable. And that is where this part of tonight's story will come to a close. But before we close off session, we watch a dark alleyway as a hooded figure emerges, stopping and looking up and down the more brightly lit, I suppose I could say, alley, and walking up to two drows, stopping a few feet away and kind of just watching them from under the hood. The drows, after a moment of trying to ignore it, look towards its figure. Oh then, you got a problem? Standing there. If you want to say something, you can speak, you know. No reply comes. Oh, come on now. You lost or something? You know, we can help you find your... whatever it is you're looking for. The drow says, approaching the hooded figure. And in a swift motion, the hooded figure has taken a step forward, wrapped its arm around the drow, pulling it in its other hand, arm, driving into the drow's stomach. The arm that pulled the drow in moves down, feels in the pocket, and pulls out the brooch. A quick check to see if the brooch is indeed the one being searched for, confirming it, slipping into their pocket, pushes the drow back. Drow stumbles, clutching at their stomach as blood trickles down, falls up against the wall. His friend, trying to decide whether he needs to tend to the freshly stabbed friend or do something about whoever's just stabbed his friend, but deciding he's by no means a fighter, immediately pulls off his jacket and starts trying to keep pressure on the wound. The hooded figure takes a few steps back before dropping the item used in the stabbing on the floor and walking away. Our session ends as the proverbial camera pans down to focus for the first time on this item. A small dagger with the hilt